Christmas and Halloween, and you're going to be shocked by what I'm about to tell you. And if you're not shocked, then I share your pain. Okay, so if you're a young person who's not settled down yet, or maybe you're an older person, my age, etc., and you're still not settled down yet, make sure you don't make the same mistake I made. Make sure you vet your wife first, or future partner first. Find out what it is they're into. Make sure, and this is very important, guys, that they're not too over the top about Christmas. So when I was younger, like when me and my missus got together, I was mad about Christmas. I was so excited to spend it with my wife and my little daughter at the time, and wow, it's Christmas, can't wait. Presents and see the faces, yeah, lovely. The last few years I've grown out of it a bit. I'm now in my mid-30s, but my wife has gotten worse to the point where it's the 11th of November. You're watching this next week, but I'm recording on the 11th of November. Yesterday she went to get a booster vaccination for the COVID and whatnot. And she said, let's go to the shops. Why? I'm going to the doctors, I don't want to go to the shops. No, let's go to the shops. Right, okay, right then. Guess we'll go to the shops. She had it planned out beforehand. I swear down, she had booked a jab so she could go and buy these Christmas bloody decorations. These go on your tree apparently, I don't know, somewhere or other. And this try not to make a racket here. These like baubles with glitter inside. Can you see the ring light? This white circle here is my ring light behind the camera. That's quite funny to see. But yeah, so we had to go and buy all this stuff, which apologies for the noise there. I want to rest the microphone on there, so they've actually served some useful purpose to me. I have no issue buying decorations, obviously, and I've got to go up the loft today. This is what I have an issue with, and get the Christmas tree down and the other decorations. It is the 11th of November. Ain't I lucky? It's going up today or tomorrow, the tree. What is wrong with people? It's not Christmas for at least, I'd say, another 3 weeks before you can start thinking about putting a tree up. But in my house, my wife has the final say. So let me try and adjust this camera. There we go. That's fine. Right. So, oh, my belly just rumbled like a bloody dinosaur roaring. Which is surprising, really, because I've just done a video where I was eating some food, and yet my belly's rumbling like I'm starving. Anyways, let's get into today's video. So if you're a regular watcher on here, you know I cover football and wrestling on here. Sorry, UFC, football and some wrestling. But I want to open it up to more sport. I'm even considering changing the name of the channel, but I'm not sure on that yet. Probably won't do that, I don't think. It's been all this ASMR world for too long. Anyways, yeah. So I wanted to open up the channel to cover some different sports. I believe I've done one boxing video before. I'm sure I have at some point a couple of years ago. It might just be like a preview of a big fight or something or other. I might not have done, I'm pretty sure I have though. And today we're going to start a series of boxing videos right here, right now. real life. You're walking down the street and there's a kid there selling freshly made lemonade. I don't think I'd buy it off that kid. I'd be too suspicious that he might have peed in it. I gotta be honest. Anyways, if you do buy freshly made lemonade off kids in the street, let me know. Is that something that's normal if you're in America? Or is that just in the movies to make it seem cool? 1 second, I need a cushion to sit on. That's better. I'm a little bit higher up now. I was too low down there. Right, I'm actually going to hold the microphone, which is an even bigger pain in the arse. Look at this, I'm always being innovative here. And the innovation continues. Okay, like I said, we're going to start a boxing series. Now I could just sit and go through all the heavyweight boxing champions there has ever been, and that'd be a video. Okay, yeah, right, whatever. I might do that at some point. I'm not knocking that, but I want to cover particular boxers who've had colourful or eventful careers. Now, growing up, I say I didn't watch a lot of boxing. I still don't now. If there's a big fight on, I might watch it or catch the highlights on YouTube. I don't have the patience to sit and watch 12 rounds of boxing. That's why I get on better with UFC. It's a lot quicker paced and only lasts 25 minutes at a push. But growing up, I went through phases of getting into old boxing. Like I'd buy DVDs of old Muhammad Ali fights, Mike Tyson, George Foreman, Frank Bruno, just old boxing documentaries, etc. And I've read a few books about boxers, Ricky Hatton, and you know, a few others. Who was the other one? Not Smoking Joe Fraser. The other one was. Oh, flipping heck, it's in my cupboard. I forget, I apologise. He was part of the NOMAS situation, not the Cuban bloke, the other one. I'm going to tell you right now because it's going to annoy me otherwise. Let me just come off here. Here we go. So Roberto Duran was the other fighter. Sugar Ray Leonard. That's who I was looking for there, guys. The name, I couldn't remember it. Yeah, I got Sugar Ray Leonard's book. I've got a lot of Tyson Fury's, Mike Tyson, etc, etc. So I've always had like a interest in boxing, and I've always wanted to like catch the big fights if I get the chance. But one of the names over the years that cropped up a few times in the Muhammad Ali documentaries, Muhammad Ali's book. I also have a book, The Life and Death, I think it's called The Life and Death, of Sonny Liston. And Sonny Liston is who we're going to talk about today. I'm going to do a couple of videos on this man. So today's one will be like a brief, who was Sonny Liston. I've got this from a webpage on the internet called biography.com, so I'll give them a little shout out. But then there's other articles on the internet where it goes into more detail about some of his, some of the things that happened during and at the end of his life. I also, in this book, it goes into great detail about how he got mixed up with the wrong crew of people, so to speak. But I ain't gonna pick up the book and read the whole bloody thing to you right now. And to be fair, I've not read the whole thing myself. Anyway, let's get into this. So, who was Sonny Liston? Some of you may be asking. Sonny Liston had a Missouri State Penitentiary. So he actually got to boxing whilst he was in prison. He became a professional fighter in 1953. So, I mean, he was a pro fighter before my dad and my mum were even born. This was like 32 years before I was born. He was becoming a pro fighter. So, Sonny Liston had a controversial boxing career, winning 54 of 58 bouts between 1953 and 1970. Known for his powerful punch, the majority of his victories were knockouts. He died December 30th, 1970, in Las Vegas, Nevada. So, he started boxing in 53 and he died 17 years later. Boxer Charles L. Sonny, been his nickname I think, Liston, so his name was Charles L. Liston. Somehow Sonny got added in there. Was born in St. Francis County, Arkansas on May 8th, 1932. There is some speculation about his year of birth, but most sources state sometime from 1929 to 1932. But then you might not know when somebody was born if they didn't want you to know. The son of a tenant farmer, Toby Liston, and his second wife, Helen. Liston was the 24th of his father's 25 children. So his dad had 25 kids. Liston was the second youngest. Along with his many siblings, Liston grew up working in the local cotton fields. His father was an abusive alcoholic, and Liston eventually left the house during his teens. I mean, that must have been a big bloody house, 25 kids, Christ. In St. Louis, he quickly encountered problems with the local police. At the age of 16, Liston, more than 6 feet tall and weighing 200 pounds, became a menacing presence in his neighbourhood, occasionally working as a strike break-in labour goon. So, they haven't gone into detail what that means, but my guess is, back in the day before they had unions and stuff for the different professions, or maybe it was when they had the unions, not too sure, but you'd have a lot of fights breaking out at different professions, like on the docks, etc., in the factories, where maybe the workers wanted certain rights or whatever, and the bosses didn't want to hear, so they'd go on strike. The employees would, and Sonny Liston and some others, I think, were maybe brought in to stop that happening. Liston was arrested more than 20 times. In 1950, he was convicted of 2 counts of larceny and 2 counts of first-degree robbery, and spent more than 2 years in the Missouri State Penitentiary in Jefferson City. While Liston was incarcerated, prison athletic director Father Alois Stevens, I think that's correct, introduced him to the sport of boxing. Paroled in 1952, Liston quickly captured the local Golden Gloves Championship. He became a professional fighter on September the 2nd, 1953, when he knocked out Don Smith in a single round in St. Louis. Auspiciously, the massive man is known as the Bear. Then won his first 9 fights before dropping an 8-round decision to Marty Marshall. So he won his first 9 fights, Sonny Liston did, after becoming a pro, and then lost his first fight in the 10th fight. And that was only a decision. Liston's career was interrupted for 9 months, beginning policeman and stealing the officer's gun. After his release, Liston relocated to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where his career quickly flourished again. So he started boxing in '53 as a pro, but then he was arrested in December '56 for 9 months because he assaulted the police officer and stole his gun. Liston won 26 consecutive bouts once he came out of prison, moving inexorably. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that word. It's a word I see all the time, but I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. Toward the heavyweight championship. Known for scowling at opponents, he combined an intimidating ring presence with awesome power. His heavyweight title-winning victory on September 25th, 1962 was indicative of his powerful style. So he won the heavyweight title in 1962. After a mere 2 minutes, he knocked out Floyd Patterson, which marked the first time in history that a reigning heavyweight champion was counted out in the first round. So never before had a heavyweight boxer who was a champion been knocked out in the first round. Sonny Liston, his first ever title fight, knocked out Floyd Patterson in the first round. It's pretty bloody good. As the top fighter in the world, Liston became an easy target for sports columnists who remarked frequently on not only his menacing demeanour and vicious punching power, but also his criminal background. Liston, who posted a career record of 50 wins and 4 losses with 39 knockouts. This man knocked out 39 men. Revelled in this role of the fighter America loved to hate. So he loved that people had an issue with him. That sort of got him more up for the fight, I guess you could say. Liston scored another knockout in a rematch with Patterson, so he fought him twice, knocked him out twice. But his 17-month reign as heavyweight champion, so he was the heavyweight champion for 17 months, ended at the hands of a brash fighter named Cassius Clay, who we later, obviously, would go on to become Muhammad Ali. Liston, who was viewed as nearly invincible before the fight, was unable to answer the bell for the 7th round, and Clay, soon to take the name Muhammad Ali, was named champion on February 25th, 1964. The subsequent rematch in the following May in 1965 Sonny Liston by Nick Tosches. That came out in 2000. So that fight happened in 1965. In 1966, following his loss to Clay, Liston launched a comeback and he won 11 consecutive fights by knockout in 1968 and added 3 more wins in 1969 before losing a brutal bout to Leotis Martin. I've never heard of him before, gotta be honest. That was in 1969. He climbed back into the ring on June 29th, 1970, registering a 10th round technical knockout against Bayon Bleeder Chuck Wepner. After being unable to reach Liston for 12 days, his wife Geraldine returned to their Nevada home on January 5th, 1971, at which time she discovered Liston's dead body. The official cause of death was lung congestion and heart failure, although Liston had fresh needle marks on his arm, and police discovered heroin and a syringe in the house. His death certificate states his death as December 30th, 1970, based on milk deliveries at his doorstep. Oh, I guess he took him in on that day. That was the last time he took the milk in, I guess. Liston was buried in Paradise Memorial Gardens in Las Vegas, Nevada, beneath a simple gravestone. His epitaph reads, "Amen." That's what it says on his gravestone. Now, I have read some of the book about the death of Sonny Liston. Early on, I've only read a little bit of it, but it sort of starts out with his death from the beginning. Like, starts out works his way back, I think. And they said one of the conspiracies was he killed by the mafia, by the mafia, or one of the mobs in America, in Vegas rather. Maybe he was killed because he was going to reveal something or refuse to do something that he was asked to do, one or the other. And they gave him the overdose. Now, I don't know what's the truth. We never will know. The man died whilst nobody was there. Nobody will ever tell the story anyway. But in the next video in this series, I'll go into a bit more detail about Sonny Liston's death, because there's another article from the BBC which will have a lot more detail on there. But if there are any boxes you know of that you'd like to hear about, then let me know in the comments. And I'll see you all again soon. Remember guys, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, comment below. See you all again very soon guys. Take it easy.